Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. In this series, you'll learn about Hello World using Java. All code examples used in the videos will be available on GitHub. Let's get started.
Using Java. So when I'm using this Hello World, so just see, we have to create one class, just printing welcome to Java, one string I'm going to print using Java. So I'm going to create one Java class like Hello World dot Java. So how I'm going to write a Java class, I'm writing here class Hello World. And if I'm starting one class, we should have a main method inside a class. Public static void main string args. So this is the main method, which is syntax, right? Same. I'll tell you all the things on one step by steps, the meaning of each and every term. So we'll talk about everything. Now inside this is a method that we have to write inside a class. I have to write one method, right? And inside this method, I'm going to print something. If I want to print something, then I have to print something. I have to use system.out.println, and using this, I want to print a particular string like welcome to Java. So now here, it is what this is a single Java class. It's a Java class that has a particular method. So what I want to compile and run this code. I want to see that how I can compile and run this code. So there's multiple approaches there to compile and run. I'm not going to use IDE now. I'm going to use simple notepad and see how I can compile and run this code. So just copy this code, Control C, and in the desktop, I'm creating one folder, and write this folder name is Java 8 code. Fine, this is my folder. And inside this, just create one notepad, text document, and open this text document, Control C, Control V. This is a simple dot class file, hello world. Fine. Now we are printing this welcome to Java. So file save as, save it with the name called hello world dot Java. Save it. Now you can see here this syntax got changed. The extension is .java. Your file extension, source code extension should be .java. Then only I can compile and run. Now I have just saved this file, right? Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to compile it first. So in the same path, I have to come using command prompt. CMD, enter. So you can write here Java C, hello world .java. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to compile this code. So when you compile this code, you can see here you'll get some Java C file not found. Why it is saying file not found? Because I'm going to compile it in a different location. My program location is different. This is the program location, but I'm going to compile the file in some different path. So I have to come inside the same path, right? Control C, then I have to compile and run. Fine. So I'm coming in the same path, edit, paste, enter. I came in the same path. Now what I want to compile and run, right? So Java C, hello world dot Java. So if I see when I'm going to compile, it's working fine, and we have this .class file created, right? Now what I want to run this code, so I have to use a Java hello world. Fine, enter. So when you write Java hello world, first I have compiled, I got the .class file, then I'm going to run. and I'm going to run it. It's print the corresponding output, right? Now the point is that when I'm going to compile and run, it will work fine. But for some of you, you may get some error. It may not work. Why? Because here you'll get two things. One is called path. Another is called class path. Now class path I don't have to use now. Just for the time being, since I'm saying paths, so let me talk about class path also. Now, for some of you, if I'm going to compile and run, it may not work. You have to set the path for your Java. Now you have installed the Java. Where I have installed the Java, just see here, Java installation folder. Java is installed in which folder? Just see here, please. Java is installed inside this folder. I have multiple version of Java. Take this version of Java, JDK. I'm using this JDK. Fine, and this bin. So this JDK and bin path, this just here, this contain all the compilers, right? In the bin, all the compilers are there, right? Okay, so just copy this, and in the path variable, we have to set this. Path variable, we have to set the path of the bin. Then only you can compile your code. Okay, you have to set the path variable bin path of your Java installation folder of your JDK, not JRE, JDK. Bin path you have to set. Then only you can compile and run. So let me check whether the bin path is set or not. How to set this bin path? You have to go to Start, Computer, right-click Properties, Advanced System Settings, yes, Environment Variable, and then go to, you'll find one path variable. I'll tell you the system variable. Go to system variable. Already the one path variable is there. Just see here, path variable, and edit. Let me check whether I have already path variable or not. It is already there, but the path variable for JDK 1.7, it is there already. Some path variable, some other version is there, right? So so this path variable, what you have to do, you have to set the path variable at the end, semicolon, Control C, Control V. This path variable you have to set. If you are using JDK path, other JDK path you should remove. Other JDK path you should remove, else it will give some other. Only one, better to keep only one JDK path. Okay, so I've set this path set, correct. Okay, now you can compile, run. It's working fine, right? So if you get an error, then you have to set the path and the path variable like this, semicolon at the end, right? And then you have to compile and run, it will work. If you're not getting error, that means it is taking the existing path. So this is one approach how I can set the path variable. How to set this path variable? This is the first approach. Okay, how to set path variable? This is the first approach. Second approach is that in the path variable you have to put it this. Second approach is that what you have to do is that here you can use set path equal to edit paste. Set this path. Now you're in this path itself. Now compile and run. This is another approach how you can set the path. But in that case, this will work. So you can use in the command prompt. And this is second approach. Path. How to set the path variable. Second approach, you have to come into the command prompt. You have to use set path equal to this. This is the second approach how I can set the path variable. Okay, and this first approach. Now the thing is that this first approach will work for any command line, for any command prompt, this first approach will work. But the second approach will work only for this one. Right? So, but this is how we set the path. You may find some error when you're working with first time Java. So that time you have to set this path like this. Any one of the approach you can use. Fine. Another is we have class path. Class path is not required now. So using path variable, what I'm doing with the path variable, using path, we make available Java compiler to OS. To make available Java compiler to OS, I need this path variable. When the Java compiler is available to OS, then only you can compile and run your code. Fine. Similarly for class path, then why I need class path? Why I need class path? Class path is used to make available some external classes to your OS. Again, I'm saying using class path, we make available, using class path, we make available Java external classes to OS. What does it mean, Java external classes? External means you want to make available some jar files to the operating system, like classes12.jar. Okay. Because external classes means, or external classes will not available as a dot class file. External classes generally we use as a .jar extension. So the .jar class path you can set using this class path. So not class path is not required. We'll talk about it later. But if you are going to run your code, you may have to set this path variable. You have to set the path variable if I'm going to run it using command prompt. Fine. Like this, then you have to set this path variable and you can compile and run your code, then it will work fine. No issues. Fine. Yes. Anyone want to add any point here? So the thing is that we have to, now here I just given the syntax, how to write a simple hello world class. So when you're writing a class in Java, see this class C is in a small letter and hello world H is a capital letter. That means as per Java API specification, your class name should start with a capital letter. As per Java API specification, your class name should start with a capital letter. And here I have written one main method. You have to write a main method to compile and run your code. To run your code, main method must be there in your class. If you don't have any main method inside the class, you cannot run a code. If you want to run a code, you must have to put one main method. Fine. I'll talk about what is the meaning of each term in the main method. I'll come step by step. If you want to print something, then I have to use system.out.println. Using that syntax, I can print any string, just put it inside double quotes, it will print it. And that we have done it here, right? And it's printed, no issues. Fine. So this is all about how we can compile and run a simple .java file, right? Okay. So anyone want to add some more input? You can add. Anyone to add something else here?